So let's say you want to run an outbound call campaign for your voice agents. Now, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to connect your CRM to the automation platform via automations. And the way that we're going to do this, the simple way at least that we're going to do this without using API calls and without native integrations, what we're going to do is we're going to visit your CRM. Now, typically your CRM should have an automation builder. If it doesn't, you're going to have to use API calls. But if it does, you're going to be brought to a screen that looks something like this. I know that the reputable CRMs have something similar to this automation builder. What we're going to do inside of here is we're going to set a trigger. Now, this trigger is going to send off these calls. So this could be maybe a tag's added to your contacts. Maybe a pipeline is changed. Maybe it's when a contact reaches a certain step, or something is executed, a form is signed, whatever it might be that sends off these calls. There needs to be a data change inside your CRM, so it does it automatically. You could always do it manually with tags or something, but if you want this to run like clockwork, I'd recommend setting up like a pipeline change or whatever enrollment trigger is automatic. So with that, we have a pipeline has changed, let's say to in pipeline purchases, and then, I mean, this is just random here, but pipeline stage is business premium. So when somebody reaches this step of the pipeline, it's then going to trigger off a call via a webhook. So we're going to take this webhook here. We have our webhook. We're going to come to Thoughtly and we're going to create an automation. Simple enough. We're going to need a webhook URL. The way we're going to do that is by putting an incoming webhook, copying that URL, and pasting it into your CRM automation builder here. Then we'll save that action. And maybe we want custom data to be sent through. You would put that here. It's very simple. You would put like person's name equals contact. Just do first name. Email is contacts email. We could mention all of this inside the conversation. Let's say we want to get the person, well, we need the person's phone number. That's like a necessity. Contact, phone. And then maybe address. I don't think that I have any address stored in here, but anything you have stored inside your CRM, you could pass through. Let's see where it is. Address 1. Whatever you want as data, pass it through this webhook and we could reference it inside the conversation. I'll show you exactly how to do that. So let's save that. And I'm going to test this workflow so I have some data to work with. I'm going to run this test and then we could refresh this screen and we'll notice that the payload fills up for me. Now the body typically consists of, I mean, it's going to come with a lot of things, but we have our custom data right here that we pass through. I don't have any specific data that was passed with this contact card, but this will give us grounds to get started. Next thing that I would do, there's two things that you can do. You could just call the phone number directly and mention the name via metadata, or what I recommend is just creating or updating the contact inside of Thoughtly. By the creator update, we put the name here, found inside the payload. We'll go custom data, name. Next, we just need the phone number. And I'll also put the email too, just so we could reference the email on the call. It could come in handy if you want to be like, hey, is your email still repeat back, just to confirm it's correct. Phone number here. And then lastly, we'll put the email. Attributes could be added if you want to add like a custom field to this contact card inside of your CRM. So like maybe you want to add the address as an attribute. You can do that and then reference the attributes on the call. I like to pass it through via metadata. It's a little bit cleaner for that, so it's the wrong one. Then we're going to call the contact that we just created. Right here, we take the ID, place it inside there, select the agent we want to call from, one of these templates. Here's where we're going to be able to put the metadata and then reference the metadata inside of the call. So like I sent through, we have the address. Keep in mind we have to know how this is spelled and know where the capitals are. We then take the payload, found inside custom data address. It says undefined, so keep that in mind. It's nothing's going to show up here, but we can then generate that. Call's going to go out to this contact, which has a false number because there was no data inside the payload. That's beyond the point. This output would then trigger off a call, just a test call, so keep that in mind. I'm going to name this pre-call trigger. And one thing I will mention before hopping off here is going to be, you're going to want to reference this metadata inside the conversation. The way we're going to do that is we're going to go to the agent that's connected to it, and we're going to say, let's just say, is your address still, and then we're going to reference that metadata by going metadata dot, remember how we spelled it, address. Just like that. We'll then reference the information found inside of the payload. But to give you a rundown of kind of what we just did there, let's go to this automation here. We have a webhook inside of the Thoughtly platform that we tie directly in to your CRM. Now, this could be any CRM. Every CRM typically has a webhook. Any reputable one has a webhook option inside of an automation builder. This webhook is going to be triggered with, first of all, it's going to have a bunch of payload in it, which is data that you're passing through. And it's going to be triggered when a certain thing happens inside your CRM. So in this case, a pipeline changes, maybe a tag's added, whatever it might be that's going to trigger off these calls. It's going to be done automatically. So you don't even have to worry about triggering off calls. Once that's done, it sends the webhook over to Thoughtly. Thoughtly catches the webhook with all of the data, creates a contact, so we could reference their name, phone number, and email inside the conversation. We also hold that inside of our platform. Fully HIPAA compliant, SOC 2 compliant, if that's something you're wondering. And then we could call the contact immediately from the automations, as well as hold the metadata directly inside of these calls. So that's going to be triggering a call with automations. The next video that I'm going to do is going to be talking about the post-call automations, sending data back to your CRM. Once again, our platform is fantastic for making calls, but we want you to stick with your systems. We don't want you to have to check our platform for call statuses and analytics. Instead, all of that's going to be passed into the systems that you're currently using. And in the next video with the post-call automations, I'll show you guys exactly how that's done.